Have you ever said yes to someone and immediately felt a sick, sinking feeling in your stomach? You did not say yes because you wanted to be kind. You said yes because you were terrified of the awkward silence if you said no. You were terrified of being disliked. Terrified that if you stop performing, apologizing, and keeping everyone happy, nobody will stay. So you make a quiet deal with yourself. You become easy to ask, easy to pressure, easy to predict. And at first, the world rewards you for it. People call you sweet. They call you dependable. They call you a good friend. Underneath all that praise, a quiet danger is growing. You're not earning their respect. You're just giving them unlimited, free access to your soul. You're teaching them a highly dangerous lesson, that your boundaries are completely negotiable. Think about how you move through a normal day. Do you find yourself saying sorry for simply taking up space in a room? If someone bumps into you in a crowded hallway, do you automatically apologize to them? If someone asks you a question, do you start your answer with, "Sorry, but I think"? Psychology calls this the apology reflex. It is an automatic panic button you press to lower the tension in the room before anyone can get upset with you. When you turn down an invitation or cannot favor someone, do you type out a massive paragraph-long excuse filled with apologies? That is not communication. That is you begging a room full of people for permission to have your own life. Human beings learn patterns very quickly, especially the ones that benefit them. If you constantly apologize for existing, people learn to treat your presence as a secondary thought. You are literally training them to see you as wrong. Have you ever sat in a circle of people, listened to them, mock someone, or say something completely toxic, and found yourself nodding along, or worse, laughing at a joke you secretly hated? This is where people-pleasing becomes dangerous to your actual identity. To avoid a single moment of social awkwardness, you compromise your core values. You become a mirror reflecting exactly what the person in front of you wants to see. When you validate attitudes, gossip, or views that you secretly despise just to fit in, you drop a brick out of the foundation of your own self-respect. You trade your character to buy a temporary badge of belonging, but a belonging that requires you to mutilate your own morals is not a friendship. It's a hostage situation. Look at how you handle choices when you are around other people. When someone asks you where you want to eat, what movie you want to watch, or what you should do next, do you instantly say, "I don't care, whatever you guys want"? On the surface, it looks like you're just being easygoing, but underneath, it's a deep psychological dread of decision making. You're terrified of making a choice because your brain panics over the worst case scenario. What if I pick a wrong restaurant and they hate the food? What if I recommend a show and they find it boring? What if they blame me for a bad time and decide they don't want me around anymore? By constantly erasing your preferences, you collapse your own decision-making muscle. You look to others to tell you how to feel, what to like, and how to act. And eventually, you become so perfectly camouflaged to please others that when you look in the mirror alone, you don't even know what your own favorite things are anymore. Are you the unofficial therapist for everyone in your life? Do people text you at 2 a.m. with all of their emotional chaos, venting for hours while you sit up completely exhausting your own energy to fix their problems? But look at what happens when you're hurting, when your mind is heavy and you need a shoulder. Do you stay completely silent? Do you lock yourself in your room because you're terrified that if you show your real messy emotions, you will be a burden to them? This is the caretaker trap. You have internalized the false belief that your only value in a relationship is what you can do for them, not who you are. You absorb all of their dark toxic rain, but you never allow yourself to drop a single tear. You treat yourself like a doormat running on absolute exhaustion because you fear that the moment you stop fixing their lives, they will realize they have no use for you and walk away. A pattern that was learned can be unlearned. If you have trained people to treat you like an open door, you can train them to respect the lock. You do not need to become mean, loud, or aggressive. You just need to become strategically unavailable. Here is your 3-step psychological blueprint to reclaim your power. The biggest trap of the apology reflex is speed. When someone asks you for a favor or texts you to vent, your anxiety spikes and you answer yes within seconds just to stop the panic. From this moment on, your rule is simple. You do not answer immediately. When a request drops into your phone, you force a minimum 20-minute delay before you touch the screen. This entirely breaks the automatic panic loop in your nervous system. It forces your brain to switch from emotional fear to cool, calculated logic. More importantly, it subtly teaches the person on the other end that your attention is a scarce resource, not a free utility. When people pleasers finally try to say no, they ruin it by over-explaining. They say, "I'm so sorry, I really wish I could, but my mom is making me do this thing and I have a headache." This is an immediate green light for a manipulative person. They see your excuses as arguments they can win. If you say you have a headache, they will say, "Oh, it will only take 5 minutes, please." Your solution is absolute clarity. You give a boundary with zero handle for them to grab onto. You practice these exact phrases. "No, I won't be able to make it to that. I cannot take that on right now. I am dealing with something personal. I'll catch up with you later." And then you stop talking. You do not explain why. You do not offer a secondary excuse. You state the boundary as a historical fact, not a negotiation. The hardest part of setting a boundary isn't saying the word no. It's surviving the 60 seconds of awkward silence that comes right after it. Your heart will race. Your brain will scream at you to apologize and take it back. This is where you must apply strategic solitude. When you set a boundary, expect the other person to look annoyed, reply with a cold one-word text, or try to make you feel guilty. Let them. Their discomfort is not your assignment. Your only job in that moment is to sit perfectly still and let the tension burn itself out. Every single time you survive that silence without breaking or apologizing, your self-esteem multiplies. You're actively teaching your brain a beautiful, liberating truth. The awkward tension didn't kill me. Being disliked didn't break me. I am still completely safe. Human beings subconsciously ignore what is always available. It is a baseline rule of behavioral psychology. Scarcity creates value. If your agreement costs nothing, it means absolutely nothing. Extreme predictability completely destroys human respect. This is why your ultimate weapon is the currency of no. Real power is incredibly quiet. It doesn't scream, it doesn't slam doors, and it doesn't give scary warnings. It looks like a single, calm, unshakable sentence. "No, I can't do that." And then you stop talking. Most people are terrified of the heavy silence that follows a boundary, so they rush to fill it with nervous laughter or massive excuses. Do not fill the silence. Let them sit in it. That silence is exactly where your self-respect is born and where their boundary begins. You must realize a massive psychological truth. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions. If someone becomes angry, distant, or bitter, because you finally protected your time. That is a reflection of their entitlement and not your lack of kindness. They aren't mourning the loss of a friendship. They are mourning the loss of their free access to you. Here is the uncomfortable reality that nobody warns you about. The moment you start choosing yourself, some of your relationships will begin to crack. Don't panic when the fracturing starts. Unhealthy dynamics require at least one person to constantly volunteer to abandon themselves to keep the peace. The very second you refuse to play that role, the script changes completely. Being disliked by manipulative people who only loved you when you were a quiet doormat is not a failure. It is a concrete proof that your mind can no longer be controlled by outside noise. Real confidence is never loud. It does not need to dominate a room, intimidate others, or perform superiority. Confidence is simply the ability to disappoint people without collapsing into a wave of guilt. It is the ability to walk away without needing their permission or closure. It is the ability to stand perfectly still while a room full of people misunderstand you. Stop trying to be understood by the people who are actively committed to misunderstanding you. Stop performing likability for a crowd you don't even admire. You were never meant to be emotionally available to everyone. You were meant to have a center, a boundary, a mind of your own. Because the people who get the most disturbed when you finally choose yourself are always the exact ones who benefited most from you having no boundaries at all. If you found your reflection in this video, remember that choosing yourself is not selfish. It is the highest form of self-love. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to heal. Welcome to your alibi. If you need a safe space to build your inner strength, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below letting me know which of these red flags hit closest to home today. I'm reading. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in our next session. Capiche?